Hey there, thank you for coming back to this channel. Today's video we're going to be trying out a almost full face of Hince Cosmetics. This will be the first time that I try out products from this brand, and the first product I want to talk about is the Second Skin Foundation, also one of the newest addition to the Hince line of products. I like the fact that the Second Skin Foundation, even though comes in such an artsy looking bottle, still does have a pump. And I'm using the shade 21 here, which is the second to lightest shade with a neutral undertone. On the right side of my face, I use a dense brush to apply this foundation. One thing I did not like about the Hince Second Skin Foundation was the scent. This scent is not particularly strong, but it does linger on for quite some time. With a dense brush, I was able to obtain a medium level of coverage that is actually quite flawless looking, and the finish of this foundation is a naturally glowy finish. On the other side of my face, I use a wet makeup sponge to apply the foundation, and as expected, this does take away some of the coverage of the foundation itself, but it also makes the foundation fit into your skin better and also decrease the level of glowiness of the foundation, which might be a good way for you to apply this foundation if you are someone with an oilier skin type. If we now zoom in a little closer to take a look at the butterfly zone as well as the nose coverage of this foundation, on the brush application side, you can see that this did a pretty good job of covering up the texture and pigmentation that I have there. There's still definitely a little bit of redness that you can see on the side of my nose, along with a little bit of creasing that probably happens because this is a slippier type of texture. However, I was still pretty happy with how this foundation did, given that it is not a matte full coverage foundation. On the other side, with the sponge application, you can see that the coverage seems to be a little bit more even though also a little bit lower because there's more of the redness that you can see on the side of my nose. At the same time, I don't see much creasing, and the skin also appears a little bit more blur compared to the brush application side. Since my butterfly zone tend to get very oily in the summer, I use a thin layer of the Makeup Forever Ultra HD pressed powder in this region before moving on to using the Second Skin Concealer, also the second product in this review. This concealer has a significantly thicker texture than the texture of the foundation, and I also like the fact that Hince has thought about shade matching the concealer and foundation, so that even though both the concealer and foundation I got are of shade 21, the concealer shade is slightly peachier and also slightly brighter than the foundation of the same shade, making it a very good shade to cover up dark circles and dark spots. As the consistency of this concealer is pretty thick with a pretty high coverage level, I recommend that you use very little of it at once, and I also recommend that you use a brush first to spread out the product, then use a sponge to really work it into your skin. Next, we have the New Depth eyeshadows. I picked up two different shades of this product in two different texture, Velvet Matte and Satin Matte. Honesty is the shade in the Satin Matte texture and is described as a petal beige. The Satin Matte texture has very fine shimmer embedded into the eyeshadow itself. Allure in Motion is the Velvet Matte texture, and this is described as a dried rose beige. The New Depth eyeshadow texture is super soft and very creamy. It is also very blendable, so this is very suitable for those of you who do not want to put a lot of makeup on your eyelids. However, there is quite a bit of fallout, so definitely try to control the amount that you put onto the brush before putting the brush onto your eyelids. Both the shades that I picked up are suitable to be used as a one and done eyeshadow for the everyday, and they can also be used quite effectively as blush color as well, which is what I did here with the shade Honesty. The True Dimension Radiance Bomb is the star product of Hince Cosmetics, and it is supposedly loved by many makeup artists as well as Korean celebrities since it gives you a way to achieve the naturally glowy look without having to put on a glowy foundation. The feel of this product on the skin is exactly like that of a lip balm, very nourishing and slightly slippy, and you can apply this right out of the tube to get an intense yet natural glow on the skin, or blend it out with your fingers to get more of a glow from within effect. Last but not least, I also picked up the Mood Enhancer Matte Mini Lipstick Kit, which includes 3 best-selling shades of this formulation: Timeless, Soft Demand, and Above Passion. These Mood Enhancer matte lipsticks are formulated to be quite thin and sheer, and the finish is a comfort matte with a little bit of sheen. On the lips, these are very on brand for the Hince line of cosmetic products, as they are mostly MLBB shades that are supposed to give a little bit of life while not taking too much away from your natural look. And here is the makeup look I was able to achieve using the products I just talked about from Hince. As you can see, this is a very fresh looking, barely there kind of makeup that is highly suitable for the summertime. Let's also now take a look at what happens to this 8 hours after I apply these products to my face. By the end of the day, most of the color products have already faded off of my face. The only thing I can still see semi-clearly is the blush, which is the New Depth eyeshadow in Honesty. If we zoom into the butterfly zone to see how the foundation and concealer were doing, we would be able to see that there is some severe creasing and breaking down of both products. The camera was not able to capture this, but in real life, I could see all of the powder particles that were separated from the liquid base of the concealer and foundation hanging out on my skin. The foundation also did not do a very good job of helping with the oil control on my face, as evident by the blotting tissue that I'm using in this footage. All in all, I would not actually advise you to go out and spend quite a bit of money on the Second Skin foundation and concealer, especially if you have an oilier T-zone or butterfly zone like myself. I am glad that I only actually picked up the Mood Enhancer Matte Mini Kit instead of the full size, because I feel like these are not that special. The 2 products that I do recommend you check out are the New Depth eyeshadows as well as the True Dimension Radiance Bomb. That is all for today's video. I hope you have had a good time with me today and learned something new about the brand Hince Cosmetics. Hit the like button if you have enjoyed this video, and also consider subscribing to my channel for more content on Korean beauty in the future. Thank you so much, and I'll see you guys in my next video.